Right then, this is a quick walk around video for an absolutely lovely Honda CR-V. This is a 2.2 EX automatic diesel. Car's covered 68,700 miles. It's got a full service history. It comes straight from the Honda dealership to us actually. It's also fitted with some lovely exterior additions. You can see there, black grille from the black edition model, side steps and high level rear spoiler. It really is a fabulous looking car. Around the front of it, lights and lenses there, clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation. Bonnet, very, very clean on the car. CR-Vs generally do pretty well on the stone chip side. There'll be the odd minor one, but nothing to write home about. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth in the panel work there. Can't see any obvious indentations. Near side front alloy, again, absolutely lovely. By the way, but on a lovely sunny day, I always do these videos in the shade because you can actually see more issues or more marks rather than glaring sunshine, and that's why I do it. Near side rear alloy, again, lovely. Rear 3/4 angle with the spoiler really does make the car look sort of more substantial in a way. It's all very subtle but really adds up. Around the back, very, very clean. Offside, driver's side of the car, again, lovely and smooth down the panels. Can't see any marks there. Offside rear alloy, generally good. Remaining panel work, alloy, absolutely lovely. Yeah, it is a 10-year-old car, so it's going to have the odd minor mark on it, but they are minor indeed, if any. Coming to the boot area, got absolutely cavernous boot on the CR-Vs. Normally very heavily used because of the kind of use they generally get, but this one's been kept very nicely. Coming to the back of the car now, wide opening rear doors. You can see the legroom you get in the back of the CR-Vs, and the front seats are set for me, and I'm 6 foot tall, so not cheating. Leatherwork looks absolutely lovely in the car. Again, given the fact that it's a family car, it's held up remarkably well. Coming to the front of the passenger side, all lovely and clean. Passenger seat again, very good condition. Finally coming on the driver's side, door card nice and clean. Footwell areas likewise. It's a full set of original Honda mats in the car. The driver's seat again, for the age of the car, in very, very good condition. Inside the car now, as I always have it, the engine's running, so the dash is illuminated. Dashboard looks in, again, super condition. Sat nav, as you can see, working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse, you can see the rear parking camera, and that complements the front and rear parking sensors. Carrying on down, it's just been kept in fabulous condition. Come to the dash binnacle, hopefully you can see 68,783 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel automatic. Car's registered GD64LPV, and mileage at the start of the road test is 68,784. The reason for all of our videos, and especially this bit, the road test section, is to ensure that if anyone is online looking at any of the cars we're selling, they get to see that very car actually in operation. Unfortunately, like lots of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or a description, but only to get there and find out actually there's an obvious fault that shows up with the car. We also do it, generally speaking, on our road test route, which is in the opposite direction to this, but because of a low sun this time of year, I tend to go this way so it isn't glaring on the video, but in essence it does the same thing. So coming to the car, it's been very, very well looked after, this car, mechanically, and it feels it the very second you get in the car, it feels absolutely as tight as a drum. Push button start, engine starts instantly, settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engine's a superb engine, absolutely one of the best diesels you're ever going to sit behind. It's got all of the qualities you expect of a Honda, so they're tough, they're reliable, they're long lasting, they've got cam chains, not cam belts, but also it's just the way they drive. it's such a smooth, sweet diesel engine. So when you put your foot down, it picks up, but it's got that hushed note to it. It's not a gravelly, coarse diesel. And it works beautifully with the automatic, because that isn't always the case with diesels, by the way. Sometimes they can be not a match made in heaven. It can be sort of, one doesn't really want to talk to the other quite that well, whereas this is fantastic. Auto gearbox, which actually originates in the old Honda Legend, their flagship car. The reason being is they didn't have an automatic that could cope with the torque demands of the diesel. So rather than completely engineer a new one, they modified the one in the Legend, which was designed to take over 300 horsepower. So it really was engineering overkill. The gear shifts are slick, they're smooth. Ratios obviously selected to get the best out of the car in terms of economy and performance, and it does a brilliant job of it, I have to say. Notwithstanding reputation for reliability, because the gearboxes are tough as old boots, you should do the same checks on any automatic car. Just make sure on the move the gear changes are smooth and slick, and they are, but also very importantly, when you're stationary, you put it into drive, it doesn't clunk into gear or reverse. And in all respects, the gearbox is perfect. So coming on to the steering and chassis, which has always been one of the trump cards for the CR-V. You've got really nice steering on the car, very nicely weighted. It's accurate, it's precise, it's reasonably quick as well. So when you go through corners, you've not got lots of arm twisting, but it's just very nicely set up. It's not one of those horrible overlight power steering systems that can feel completely devoid of any feel. It also tracks nice and straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed actually up to the legal limit. And then you move on to the suspension, which has the unenviable task actually of making a tall vehicle go through corners nicely, but also ride nicely, and that's very hard to do. If you go for a very soft, spongy setup, which some manufacturers do, they can initially feel fantastic until you start to push them through some bends, and then they lollop about, and you get lots of sort of secondary motions going on. The CR-V absolutely glides through corners brilliantly well. We've got one, exactly this model. When we go up to see family in Wales, the winding roads, it is a brilliant companion. You don't get lots of body roll and that lurching effect. It's all held in check, but you still get a very comfortable, well-damped ride. Incidentally, absolutely no clonks, rattles, anything from underneath the vehicle. Hit the brake pedal, positive brake pedal, no pulsing, no vibrations, so all in good order. And then coming inside the car, as you'd expect from any Honda, beautifully put together. They select the materials to suit the work the car's going to have to put up with. So family use, heavy use, so it's easy to keep clean, wipe down surfaces. They're tough, but the materials are selected exactly for that. But there's not a squeak or a rattle from the interior. It's also a dashboard you can get used to in minutes. A couple of days in the car, certainly you've mastered it. Got fantastic visibility all around, massive wing mirrors to help with that. But the actual architecture is very simple, even though this is a very highly spec'd car. The sat-nav is one of the easiest you're ever going to use, working perfectly. Down below that, dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures on each side if you want to. And that pumps out lovely cold air, by the way. All the switchgear, if I twist something or press anything, you've got that lovely high quality damped feel that Honda give you on all of their switchgear. And then your dash binnacle in front there, simple, clear, white on black graphics, far better. I mean, I've got the Mark V and I do prefer this binnacle to the later one, in all honesty. It's just easier on the eye and easier to take the information in my personal opinion. And then you've got this lovely leather bound steering wheel. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, albeit you do nothing at all. It's completely automatic. Honda worked out decades ago that most people would be driving as I am right now in perfectly good conditions where you don't need four-wheel drive on. So basically it runs in two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, and that's the most efficient way to pull any vehicle along. If the front wheels start to lose grip on a bit of sort of snow, mud or ice, something like that, before you could ever react, because it's done through the traction control system, it brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive completely seamlessly. It's simply genius. The advantages of the system are patently obvious. You're going to use less fuel, you're going to get through your tyres less quickly, and you put far less mechanical stress through the vehicle. So much so that, as I say in every video with the CR-Vs, we've been selling these for nearly 25 years or so, and I cannot remember putting the spanner on any of them in terms of the four-wheel drive system. They are incredibly robust. As I said at the start of the video, it's only brief, but to show the car operating, I can't fault it. It drives absolutely beautifully.